Hey everyone, welcome back to another Suicide Squad video. I don't know if you guys been this excited for season 1, but I sure am. It's not without its bugs though, that's for sure. I've been, you get frustrated here and there, but nonetheless, I'm having fun with it. Joker is amazing, and that's why we are here today. I want to show you guys my my Joker build that's been able to go past Mastery 50. So whoever wants to know how to build Joker, there's been a lot of builds with just critical hit damage and guns, and that's that. But I wanted to specialize in his grenade build. But before we go into it, we need to understand the mutators. So let me just pop that up right now. Alright, so these mutators, I don't have a problem with it, except for one, which I'll get into. So let's just start here on new me. So if they're not poisoned, they're gonna have a 100% chance to return to full health. So instead of dying, so we know that we need to have poison in the build. Emergency meeting, and when enemies are within 15 meters of two or more enemies, they gradually regenerate their health unless they're suffering from poison. So again, we need to poison them. Again, enemy lantern shields. In order to break it, gotta poison them. Pain suppression, enemy takes 95% less damage from all sources unless they're poisoned. Enemies take 50% more critical hit, but critical hits also hurt you. So I was thinking, I'm like, alright, so critical hits, I need to remove that from my build. And on top of that, crazy immunity, which I do not understand why they did this. I hope they change this. What's the point of farming all the season 0 Bane gear if we can't even use it for this season? So I'm a little disappointed in this mutator, but I had to make it work. So when we look at the build, it's a grenade burn poison build. And I'll just get right into it, and I'll go over the talents as well, so everything makes sense. So the first weapon this is gonna be our main weapon. It's gonna be the Master Dr. Poison's Maru. This thing is insane. So basically, you don't need critical hit chance, because under the regular fire, all enemies hit with this firearm become poisoned. This will also be our shield harvesting weapon. Why, you say? It's to get grenades back. Joker in his Sentry, you can get 1 grenade, and then the Scarecrow tier 2 3-piece set, you get another 2 grenades, so a total of 6 grenades, and then also get more grenades coming back. So you need this weapon, and the reason why is slow death. So enemies you afflict now take 100% more damage and also become poisoned while afflicted. So how we do this? We just use our grenades. We apply burn, and everybody will be burned and poisoned. So you burn, so the rotation, which I'll show you, you burn them, throw a grenade. You burn them, throw another grenade, and then melee, 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 burn them, get a grenade, and then you have your suicide strike, your traversal, and all of that. Alright, we're going to use the tier 2 assault rifle. We are never going to use this weapon. This is only to unlock the 3-piece bonus. So basically, because we're using the grenade Joker build, we want tier 2 Scarecrow gear. So each poison enemy hit with a grenade gives you a stack, and then this stacks up to 5 times. And then on top of that, we have the 2-piece bonus. So after you hit the 5 stacks of the first piece bonus, and then you're going to start hitting stacks for the second piece bonus, which increases your grenade damage by 50% for 60 seconds, stacks 5 times. So that's an extra 250% grenade damage bonus. Then once you have 5 stacks of the tier 2, you get 1 stack of the tier 3, where poison enemies will now be getting hit for 500% more damage. And you get your grenade increased capacity by 2. So this is how it all works. You're just using grenades at this point. Whoops, my bad. Now, I had a farm season 0 again to get the 2-face persuader. Now, I know we cannot craze enemies. However, it's the active villain synergy is what is the reason why we are using this weapon. I will give you the alternate version of my build after, in case if grenade resource is not a issue, you can use the other build. But right now, we're going to use the Two-Face Persuader, and the reason why is because we have two synergies going on. The first one is the Two-Face and Bane, where harvesting enemies now 100% now gives you a 100% chance of dropping grenade ammo, and it also increases your grenade damage by 100% for 20 seconds. So you need to harvest an enemy, you shoot with your Dr. Poison, because I'll show you, we're going to have a lot of shield harvest chance. You shield harvest, and then you'll get another grenade back, and you'll up your grenade damage by 100%. The second one, the Two-Face Scarecrow, is when you kill an enemy with a Suicide Strike, you can get 1 or 2 buffs. Dread or Mayhem. Dread gives you, you deal 250% more damage to enemies, or Mayhem, they deal 50% less damage to you. So it's a win-win in my book as you get to the higher mastery. Now, I am rocking, unfortunately, the tier 1 Bane grenade. I will give you another alternate version if, again, grenade ammo is not an issue for you. But I have to farm for a Master Two-Face, and I have to farm for a Master Chokehold. Still hasn't dropped. But the reason why we're using this one is because every melee hit will have a 50% chance to drop grenade ammo. So if you're running low, melee, you get like 4 or 5 grenades back really quick, and then you do your rotation again. And then of course, I haven't even went over the perks, the affixes. So we're gonna put 14% damage to grunt enemies with the firearm, 15% shield harvest chance, 45% damage to burning enemies with this firearm. For the melee weapon, we're gonna get Suicide Strike resource generation, Suicide Strike resource on melee hit, and 5% shield regenerate on melee hit, because we need a way to regenerate shield as well, because we want that shield up 100% of the time. For the grenade damage, shield regenerated, and traversal attack resource for each enemy hit with a grenade, because we also want to spam our traversal as well for the Suicide Strike, which I'll show in the talent tree. For the shield, we're going to go with the Scarecrow 3-piece set. I have also an alternate version, which I'll show you, but for now, this is what I'm rocking. We're going to put Suicide Strike resource generation, shield harvest chance, 40 damage percent while shield is at 100%. This is why we want our shield up as much as possible. I got the Turtle Still Force Conduit. This thing is a beast. As you know, you'll get an easy 500% damage multiplier. And then we're going to put damage to grunt enemies, traversal attack resource generation, and traversal attack damage on burning enemies. We're still going to be using the Hugo Strange specialization, and we have 2 synergies with it. So unfortunately, Rage itself is not applied unless they change the Craze immunity. But that would be an extra 250% damage increase. But what we want is the Psychochemical Warfare. Every time you afflict 5 or more enemies with the same affliction within 10 seconds, you gain 20% affliction resource, and you deal 500% increased damage against enemies afflicted with that affliction for 20 seconds. On top of that, you'll also be immune once you afflict 5 enemies with the same affliction for 20 seconds. So this is why we need Hugo Strange neck mod. And then the last piece is the tier 2 Scarecrow charm. And we'll have grenade damage to grunt, grenade damage to brute, 50% damage to burning enemies, and then for the neck mod, grenade pickup radius, squad ultimate resource, and then damage to burning enemies. Now, how does this all work? The talent tree. So I'm just gonna pick out a few things that I think is worth noting. So we have the grenade buff here. Grenade damage increases by 10%, explosion radius by 25%. We don't care about crits, so this row does not matter whatsoever. Hitting 3 or more enemies with a grenade, you'll get 5 combo. Increase 1 grenade capacity. This one, grenades hit causes enemies to deal 25% less damage, so that's good. We're not going to take target audience because we don't need the crit hit chance. but we will take damage out by 50% against burning enemies at combo 20 and higher. Then we also have this one at 30 combo. Grenades have a 50% chance to deal 50% more damage, and their explosion radius by 50%. And on top of that, we have the innate 25% explosion radius, and then the other explosion radius on the neck mod. So you can have technically up to 100% grenade explosion radius once you hit combo 30. Damage that was increased by 20% within enemies within 10 meters of you. And then we're going to extend our combo by 15%. This is really good. You can go for this one as well if you need the damage reduction and the your traversal resource generation, but I like having 65 combo just in case you get hit as well. You're not gonna lose so much. You could get it right back up to 65 again. We're gonna go. So here, Suicide Strike. Whenever you Suicide Strike, you'll spawn 2 additional grenade ammo if they die, which also helps proc the villain synergy. If they die, you'll get one of the buffs. 50 combo or higher increases grenade damage by 100% and causes enemies to burn on death. Then we have damage dealt by 25% at combo 10 or higher on enemies that are below 50%. Performing a shield harvest has a 50% chance to burn on enemies within 5 meters. So as you need ammo, you need a shield harvest. You also have a chance to burn them within 5 meters. Now we're going to really be countering, but in case you do counter, you have a 50% chance to make the enemy shield harvestable. Melee hit causes 25% less damage for 20 seconds, so as you try to get grenades back, you're just going to melee, they're going to do less damage to you. Damage reduction is also increased by 50% while moving at combo 30 or higher. It's going to be very easy to maintain this. So you already have an innate 50% damage reduction. And then performing your traversal increases your next grenade damage by 10%. So you'll want to traverse, spam your grenades, traverse, spam your grenades, and then on top of that, on this tree, as you get kills with your traversal, then your next Suicide Strike damage will be 50% more stronger for each enemy that's killed. So you can stack this up. And then, last but not least, we're going to go with the combo 50 and higher, increase grenade damage by 100% and causes enemies that get hit by your grenade to burn within 5 meters. So again, another one. You can go with this, where you'll make enemies shield harvest 100%. Performing a shield harvest has a 100% chance to spawn a live grenade. But I'd rather go with this one. Last but not least, you know, you have your melee. Killing a burning enemy increases your firearm damage. Killing burning enemies with firearms has a 30% chance to spawn grenade, because you'll also be using your firearm in between rotation. Killing enemies while airborne generates 5% traversal attack. You could be in the air for this, or you don't have to be. It doesn't matter. I like this one, combo breaker chance. It'll ignore a combo breaker triggering event, so you won't lose your 65 combo once every 30 seconds. Successful counters while airborne generates Suicide Strike resource. You know, grenades hit reduce the gliding and swooping caused by 5%. And then we talked about this one. Combo 30 and higher, your traversal attack burns enemies. This is your ultimate. Now, what's good about the ultimate is this right here. Spawn 3 grenade ammo on activation, and then 1 grenade ammo every 5 seconds. So again, this is just another grenade resource generation. Now, these are my stats. Well, right now Turtle Shell is procced, but as you can see, I have shield harvest chance 50%, damage versus brutes, damage versus grunts, grenade damage versus brutes and grunts, and then grunt and brute damage reduction, and then damage versus burning. For the alternate version of this build, we're going to change 3 items. If you don't have the Two-Face Persuader, and if you don't have grenade resource, if you have very good grenade resource management, you can swap the Two-Face Persuader for the new Mad Hatter 3-leaf clover. The reason why is because every time you melee attack, they'll become poison, and you'll get a 10% shield innately. That's very good. Unfortunately, keep your hat on. Unless you get critical hits or killing enemies with critical hits, you're not going to get any of these bonuses. But that's not the point of the build, so this is why this doesn't really mean much to me. If you're not going to use the chokehold, I recommend using the tier 3 Bane grenade. Now, the reason why is because you deal 4% more damage to an enemy for each 1% of their health is missing. This helps with burn and poison. And this is just a very good grenade, and the damage is just out of this world. And then you would switch out the tier 2 Scarecrow for the Two-Face Fickle Fate shield mod. The reason why is then you'll just have the Two-Face synergy bonus from the shield instead of your melee. And of course, it's the same stats: Suicide Strike, Resource Generation, Shield Harvest chance, damage, while shield is at 100%. Now, the only problem is that you'll get -2 grenades, but there's other ways to get grenades. So if you have a good time getting grenades back, then by all means switch what I just switched, and you're good to go as well. This also works, but I like my guaranteed grenades, so that's why I'm sticking with this setup here. Where is it? Oh, and then last but not least,
would you like to alter your brain today?
So I have here damage to grunts and brutes, grenade ammo drop chance, shield harvest chance 20%, damage reduction from brutes and grunts, and then I'm starting to work my way towards damage to burning enemies. Now, with all that said, let's just hop in here and do Mastery 55 to show you the build.
Another day, another Earth.
Focus your attention and your fire, and take them down as a unit. Identified a new target. Take him down.
take him off the board. Rid this world of its remaining Joker immediately.
Almost down. Come on.
Good job. You came in well under my estimated losses.
Still all here? Still all here.
Well done, Suicide Squad. Your particular brand of...
And there you have it, guys. That is the build. Hope you guys enjoy. See you guys on the next one.